Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Bird's Nest. Please like, comment, and subscribe for all your NFL news, recaps, and gossip. So, this week, we're going to do a little bit of all of that. The team that I love to hate, the Cleveland Browns, were on a bye week this week. So I really got to jump around and watch several games. And it was enjoyable. I always enjoy watching other teams. It's so weird. I have someone told me to use my phone on landscape instead of portrait, and I can't do it on live. It won't let me. So I am pre-recording this and doing it there, but as I look, it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. It's very weird. So please forgive me for not looking you in the eye. But let's get started. And I'll just go around the league. I didn't watch every game. I don't care about every game. I'm not doing a whole bunch of stats or anything, just based off of what I saw. Because to me, the eye test is the best stat. So, on Thursday, the Ravens beat the Miami Dolphins. Lamar was back. Of course, they beat them. All right, there ain't much to say there. The Miami Dolphins are finished. They got to rebuild. They need to rebuild. So that's that. They keep losing. The 49ers beat the Giants. I was watching that game at first. Please forgive me for this flicking light. I don't know why it's doing that. I do have it plugged in different. I have it plugged into my cell phone jack so I could have them. I don't know why I did that. Let me try something different. Light about to go off for a minute. Let me put it back in with its regular charger. See if it works better. Fixed it. Okay. I was watching that game because, as some of you may know, I do love Jackson Dart. He's one of my faves. But it just wasn't looking good. You know, Jackson's at a disadvantage. He's a rookie. If he was a veteran, I wouldn't give him this excuse. But he's a rookie, and he's got some big injuries on his team. He's got Malik Neighbors. That's wide receiver 1. He's got Scatterbo. He's out. So, you know, he's kind of handicapped. For a rookie, that would be tough. And so, they lost. But Jackson did. He had a decent game. You know, they're not getting washed out or anything. It was 34-24. So that's that on that. Jackson lost. I did watch the Chargers-Titans game for a little minute too. And the Titans made that game competitive. So they may be figuring things out. They might be figuring things out. The Chargers only beat them by 7 points. They were always in the game. This is the best that I have seen. I haven't watched all their games, but just based on the score, this is the best I've seen them in a while. And maybe the Chargers were just playing with them like, we don't even need to do much. You know, let's make it exciting. Let's do who knows what. I don't know what went into this, but the Titans were in that game. But they lost. And they are now 1-8, 1-7. Did they have their bye week yet? I don't know if they're 1-7 or 1-8. The Vikings and the Lions, I was kind of just keeping up with the score with that because I don't care about either one of those teams. And the Vikings won. They did get their quarterback back yesterday. What's his name? Is that J.J. McCartney? Might be J.J. McCartney. Don't come over here. Don't. I think they got their quarterback back. And so they beat the Lions. And you know the Lions are a formidable opponent. So good job, Vikings. The Falcons and the Patriots. I started out watching that game. Or did I start out watching Jackson Dart? I don't know. But I did. Oh, I started out watching Jackson. I ended up watching the end of the Falcons Patriots, and I didn't know who to root for because Michael Penix is one of my guys. But then Cardi B was at the game, and that's my boo. So I was like, oh, who do I want to win? And then I decided I wanted the Patriots to win because they have the better record. And, you know, in that scenario, I like the team with the better record to win so that their playoff chances are good. Because Falcons is, no on that playoff conversation with the Falcons. Much as I like Penix, I haven't watched them enough to determine what their shortcomings are. Is it him? Is it them? Is it the coaching? What is it? I don't know what it is, but they've been struggling. Michael's been struggling, and I think didn't he get benched at half the game, and they put in Cousins, whose time has passed. Man, Aaron Rodgers done beat the ding dang Colts, honey. What the heck happened there? I didn't see the game. Again, it was a close one, exactly like the Chargers-Titans game, 27-20. So it was a fight, but the Steelers pulled it off, man. Look, hey, I discriminate against short quarterbacks and old quarterbacks. So I'm always shocked when they do these death-defying things like Aaron Rodgers is doing with the Steelers this year. They had, they all right. I can't say nothing about them. So much better than last year when they had Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. So shout out to the Steelers, man. They doing a little something this year. I'll check out the standings in a minute. The Broncos squeaked by the Texans, 18-15. What other game was I watching at that? Oh, I'll get to it. I ain't got to it yet. Let me see. Yeah, I ain't get to it yet. Okay. So 18-15 for the Broncos and the Texans. I didn't watch that game, although I do like Bo Nix, but he's very low down on my viewership list. Like, I have so many players that I like. I have to prioritize them by popularity to me. And so Bo, I rarely get to see him because he's low down on my list. But I do like him, and I'm glad they won. He took a lot of heat on social media, I guess, from the score. The score is low, so that means he didn't do much. And so, people were complaining about him. But he pulled off the win, so that makes all the complaints go away for a little while. The Bears. They beat the Bengals in a shootout that everybody's talking about because they scored 75 points each. But all that is to me is just an indication of horrible defense. It's not a reflection on anybody's offense for me. It's 1,000% horrible defense is what led to that Bears-Bengals shootout. And the Bears wound up on top. They just kept on scoring. It was like a college game. That's how college games go. You don't know. Look, it could be 7-52 at halftime in college, and in the second half, man, they just be scoring. So that's the same thing that happened with the Bears and the Bengals. Defense was so terrible that they just kept scoring. So in the end, the Bears won as they should have. I know Caleb's going through some things. He's a little inconsistent this season, but he should be better than the Bengals led by Joe Flacco. See, I have to not look at it's so weird, guys, this angle and not being able to look at the camera. It is so weird. Maybe I should just look at it instead of looking at myself. All right, so, yeah, Bears won. Good for them. Here's the one that I tried to watch because it's my team. The Panthers are... That's me. And so I recorded it while I watched other games, and then I decided to watch them, around 4 o'clock before the Commanders came on. I decided to watch the Panthers for a while, but it was boring. It was no scoring going on, and the final score was 16-13. And so I never even went back to it. Like, I think I just deleted it. I think I deleted it. But we did pull off the win against the Packers in Green Bay. And let me just say that those throwback Packers uniforms are the best that I've ever seen. They was fire. I really loved those uniforms. But it didn't save them. They lost to the Panthers, which is okay. Well, that is the best team the Panthers have beat yet. But fact of the matter is, the Panthers are 5-4, baby. We a team. But I still am not sold on Bryce Young. This just shows me, I knew in the offseason, this is what I said after the draft, actually. I said that the Panthers did so well in the draft that at this point, if Bryce Young is able to be him, he should be him. He has all the pieces that he needs to be him. So, for me, it's not even about Bryce. It's about all those lovely pieces that they brought in. And if they had a real quarterback, they'd be doing even better right now. But we are 5-4. So, we're going to see how long we can keep this going. And the fact that they've been playing a lot of teams that aren't great means just like the Browns played all those great teams at the beginning and now they're kind of coasting. It looks like the Panthers played a bunch of bad teams in the beginning and things are going to get harder for them. Just like they played the Chargers yesterday, but they won. So let's see if they can pull out some wins against some of those other formidable teams and not just easy teams. Go Panthers. Keep pounding, baby. The Saints rolled out Shuck yesterday. What's the other guy's name that was playing for them? Sadler? Is that his name? I don't know. I mean, he was stinking up the place, I guess. They don't have a quarterback. They got one of those before Shedeur quarterbacks, Shuck, another one out. All those none of them were better than Shedeur. And Shuck was certainly not on his level by any stretch of the imagination. And he stunk up the place yesterday. Okay? He did. And the Saints lost to the Rams 34-10. The Jaguars won. They pulled it out. The Jaguars won without Travis, who is their wide receiver one and their cornerback one. But they pulled it out 30-29 against the Raiders. The fact that they had to struggle like that against the Raiders, the lowly Raiders, with the interception champion of the world as quarterback, they need Travis, and against real teams, they're probably going to struggle going forward. Travis is out 4 to 6 weeks. Oh, this is the game I watched. I watched this game until I fell asleep, which was the Chiefs and the Bills. No, I watched that whole game. I think I watched the whole game. The Chiefs and the Bills, I watched them because, I wanted to see how my Keon done. I did fall asleep at some point. I know Keon had 2 receptions, nothing impressive, but then when I woke up, they had said something about Keon had multiple receptions. I got to check it out. But they won 28-21, thank goodness, because there is nothing that I love more than watching the Chiefs lose. And I'll get past it. In a couple more years of them not being in the Super Bowl, I'll stop being tired of seeing them. I just get tired of seeing the same teams over and over and over again because the NFL is corrupt, and if they want a team in the Super Bowl, they're going to get them there. Nah, I want them to earn it. And the Chiefs, like last year, they didn't earn it. I don't want to see them for a while. So I'm glad they lost. Yay! They got the same record as the Panthers. Now we get to the bad part. Now we get to the for some odd reason, the Washington Commanders coach left their superstar quarterback in the game in garbage time against the Seahawks. They were down. I can't remember what the score was, but they were down by like 25 points with, what was it, 8 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I know Jaden is him, but I don't think he was going to score no 25 points and the Seahawks not score points in that last 7, 8 minutes for them to have left him in the game coming off of an injury. Jaden been injured ding almost all season. So their record ain't even looking great. So to me, the coach should have been like, okay, we're not going to put him out there in jeopardy. I don't know. Our playoff chances ain't even looking great right now. He cannot come back from this 25 points. I mean, he could have last year. But he doesn't even have all his pieces. They got injuries too. Jaden got injured again. He just coming back from an injury. So he got injured again. He came down on his arm and bore that thing twisted in ungodly positions. So luckily, we do know that it's not broken. He had the MRI and it was negative, so it really was just a dislocation, which means we won't lose him or they won't lose him for the season. Jaden is my guy, so I do say we. He's one of my guys that I do watch when I get a chance. And so he did get injured. And he's out for weeks again. We're in week 9, so we got 8 games left. So he's probably going to miss like 4 of them. It's a wash for him. The Commanders still got some work to do on their squad, so this could be a good thing for them to allow them to get some decent draft picks in the first round. They need depth at wide receiver very, very badly. At least they'll get some picks out of this situation. And hopefully, I'd like to see Jaden bulk up a little bit more. He's very thin for a football player, quarterback or otherwise. I know quarterbacks can be any kind of size, it seems like. Not real big, but they can vary in size from Jaden's size to, let's say, a Russell Wilson. He's very stocky. So anywhere in between, or like a Shedeur who's very big but not as muscular. Shedeur is a big boy. They still keep reporting his weight at 212. I think he's past that. They've been saying that ever since he got drafted. There's no way Shedeur's still 212. So they can run the gambit, but I think that Jaden may be the skinniest one in the league. I'd like to see him get a little more muscle on him, so he can be more durable. He's very breakable right now. So at least the good news is he's probably not out for the season. And then, so that's everybody. The Cardinals and the Cowboys will play tonight. Who cares about that? Those are 2 unremarkable teams this season, so I won't be watching that, and they're not anybody I'm interested in anyway. I will move on to the Colorado Buffaloes. The Colorado Buffaloes are in a rebuild. Let's call it that. They're in a rebuild, and they've been trying to find their quarterback. So they've been playing Caden Salter for most of the season, but he hasn't been doing well. He came from some lesser division that he did well in, and he was a dual threat. He was a running quarterback, but he's not running a lot, and he can't throw well. So they've had a terrible season. In the past 2 games, the opponent scored 50-something points on them. One game they scored 7 points, and this past Saturday they scored 14 points. And that's because Juju came out. Finally. And even before Juju came out, they put Staub out there, and he was in the game like 30 seconds, and he threw 2 interceptions. So they finally had to move on to Juju. I don't know what Juju has been showing them in practice, but them to refuse to play him all this time. When they signed Juju, I expected him to be QB1. Why would you take a 5-star recruit and put him on the bench? I don't know what the thought process was there. I know that Coach Prime says a lot about how you look in practice, and that means a lot to him. So Juju must not have been showing him something, or Caden was showing him something very, very good. But practice is not the game. So it's not the game. It's not the same. You needed to pay attention to what Caden was showing you on the field and let that go weeks ago. So now people are scared that Juju's going to hit the transfer portal because Coach Prime haven't been using him. Well, I think he's QB1 now. And so I'm not expecting him to be perfect because it was some reason that Coach Prime wasn't playing him. I don't view him like Kevin Stefanski. I don't think he would do it to spite him or because he won't do my offense, because Coach Prime wants to do whatever offense wins. He's flexible in that regard where Kevin Stefanski isn't. So I don't know why he was keeping Juju off the field, but I'm not expecting Juju to go out there and be Patrick Mahomes right away. But I am expecting him to be better than Caden right away. That's all I'm expecting from Juju. That's it. So we gonna have to, hope for the best for the rest of the season. They got very little season left. What do they have? 12 games, and I think they're 10 games in. So Juju get these last 2 games, get those good game reps, and hopefully come back next season and get up and running. I don't know if he's coming back. The way that Coach Prime was talking about him in the presser was not encouraging. And Coach Prime is not that great at, hiding stuff. He's not that great at hiding, his feelings like other coaches and, talking jibber-jabber and they don't say what they mean. Coach Prime is not like that. So, I don't know. I felt like I got a bad vibe from the way he was talking about Juju in that press conference that makes me afraid that Juju is going to leave. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the game. Maybe. We'll see what happens. That's all we can do. But I'll end on Shedeur. Now, Shedeur said he wasn't going to the Buffalo's homecoming because he's hurt. That's what it is. He was off last week. People were talking about developing him on the bye week. Bye week is vacation time. Nobody's working during the bye week. They're on vacation. They go away. They go on trips, all that. But he stayed in town not to get big ready, as people seem to think, but because he was injured. Everybody thought it was a big old conspiracy to his injury. No, he's injured. His back hurts. For real, for real. And it was bad enough that injury happened over a week ago, and he's still hurt. So what he had to do to go visit his dad was arrive hours before the game on a private jet, bring medical staff with him to provide him treatments on the plane, a person that was knowledgeable of how altitude and temperature changes would affect his body. As he told us this in a video. She was with him. She gave him treatments on the plane. She gave him treatments in Colorado. And after the game, he left. He went back to Cleveland because he needs to heal. To at least be ready to be the backup for the Jets game. And we'll see what happens there. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like maybe if Dylan does, I don't know what's going to happen with Shedeur, guys. It's so hard for me to even guess anymore what's going on with him, who's involved in it, how much of it was part of the plan from the collusion from the draft. Because by all rights, Kevin Stefanski should be fired by now. He shouldn't have a job right now. He should be gone, but he's not. I guess like the Miami coach. But I don't know about the Miami coach. I don't know if this is play calling that's messing up their team. See, with Stefanski, I know that's what it is. Joe Flacco is showing you that's what it is for the time being. Joe ain't lasting the whole season. I done told y'all that. Joe 40 years old. He ain't lasting the whole season throwing no 500 yards, even when the defense gives him the opportunity to do that. But he's still able to throw. He certainly wouldn't be able to throw in the Kevin Stefanski offense because Kevin Stefanski is scared of interceptions. Petrified. Like a scaredy cat. Like, I'm disgusted by him. He's a coward. So, I don't know if they're ever going to put Shedeur in. Until I'm thinking the plan all along, well, this is what I'm starting to think, is that they want to put him in the last 4 games with no starters. That's what I'm thinking. They're going to do him just like the Rams game. So, Shedeur got to get mentally prepared for that. And get ready to go up against teams that are fighting for their playoff position with the second and the third stringers. He got to get mentally prepared for that. Because that's what I think is going to happen, guys. I think that the Browns will totally keep putting Dylan Gabriel out there stinking up the place. Totally. I can totally see that happening. So, at least he got to go home and see his dad and his brother. And then I saw when he was getting his haircut the day before, I pissed him off. They are so sensitive about their hair. I pissed him off on the live stream. But he was getting his hair done, and I saw his mom was there. I love that Pilar is always there. You see she'll be with Shiloh or Shedeur, traveling to go see her babies and be in their form. And that makes me feel so much better that Shedeur has that. And Shiloh has it, like she is there for her kids. And Shalimite too. All these kids live in different places. And she be there with all of them. I love that. Because Coach Prime can't go anywhere. He got a job. He can't be going all over the place. I don't know if Shiloh has seen him. I don't know if Shiloh done seen Coach Prime since the draft. That was 6 months ago. Shedeur hadn't seen him for 4 months. So I'm glad he got to spend time with his dad. I know that made them feel so good, even though their situations are very bad right now, both of them. Even Shiloh out there having fun, honey. So I know that was a big deal for them, and it was so fabulous to see the content and see them happy, and see Shedeur taking care of himself, and always, he always takes these things seriously. We know who Shedeur is, and we're just gonna have to keep waiting and see what is the plan for his career. We still don't know what the NFL has in mind for Shedeur. They do not like him as a quarterback. They don't like him. So let's see how long they're going to keep him away from the field. That's all I can do. I can't even make any guesses, any speculation on what's going on. It has nothing to do with his readiness. That part I do know. I know that. Because Dylan Gabriel's out there. Tyler Shuck is out there. Multiple bad quarterback players going on across the league, as Shedeur said. And he ain't out there. It ain't got nothing to do with readiness, okay? It's collusion. Or at least it started with that. I don't even know if it's still going on because it's the Stefanski. But then it's the Browns, and they are corrupt. And who knows if they're even allowed to, you know what? Let me not get too deep into it. I just don't know what's going to happen with Shedeur's career. We will see if they will ever let him be QB1. We're going to have to wait and see. But that's it, y'all. I want to try this new angle on my camera. I'll see how it works out. I hate the not being able to look at the lens thing. That thing is driving me crazy. So I know this video is going to look crazy. But I'll try to get used to it if it looks better. Y'all have a good day. And I'll see you next time. And please, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah.